Hi friends, it's Miss G. Really quick before we get into it, so we are learning a whole new subject. So I just want you to imagine we did one module before, and that module was all about then and now, right? So we learned about all then and now. We learned about the past. We learned about what we do now. Now we're going to learn a whole new subject. It's going to take a little bit more time today, so if there's time at the end, we'll do shout outs. If not, we'll do it sometime this week. And let me tell you, friends, I saw your videos and you guys did such an awesome job. I am so excited to show them, but that's only if we have time today. If not, then we can watch another time. And do not worry, friends, I will make sure to show it, okay? You guys, this is such an awesome job, and I'm so proud of you. So let's get into our lesson. And let's get into our new module. So our new module is called Module 4, the continents. So we're no longer learning about then and now. We are learning about the continents. And the question we want to be thinking about is, what makes the world interesting? So let's look at this picture, friends. What is that? Well, it's Earth, right? It's the world, right? And what about that blue stuff? What do you call that blue stuff on Earth? It's water, right? It is the ocean. And what about all that green and brown stuff you're seeing in this picture? What do you call that? Well, that's called land, right? So all we can see right now is the land. Land versus water. That's what we see. The white stuff are clouds. So, continents are land. They are masses of land that have been separated into certain parts, okay? So we are going to learn more about these brown and green parts, more about the continents. So what do you see, right, when you look here? You see different people, you see different places. As long as we have lived on Earth, people have been curious about people, about places, and other animals. Explorers have traveled the world to discover answers, making maps as they go. We talked a little bit about that with Benjamin Franklin, right? He discovered different things by doing his voyages, going on a boat and making maps of where he was going. And we do this because we want to learn more about the world. We want to see other people, we want to see other things, and we want to learn about animals, right? So explorers use maps to help them travel. But what exactly is a map? Do my friends know? Well, maps help you get from place to place. So when you have a map, you can tell, oh, this is where this is, and that is where that is, and that's how long it's going to take me to get there. Let's look at a map in a minute, but are you guys ready to explore? So just like explorers did with their time, we are going to do the same thing, okay? We are going to be explorers, and we are going to figure out using maps, using books, using videos, what it is about the world that's so interesting, and all the different things in the world that are so interesting. So using this as well, let's learn about the map and the continents.
North America, South America, Africa, Europe, and Asia, Australia, Antarctica, 7 continents.
Back to the starting gun.
North America, South America, Africa, Europe, and Asia, Australia, Antarctica.
Now it's time for the verse 2 starting gun.
Now the first thing you want to bring to this class is that a continent is a large landmass surrounded by great big bodies of water called oceans and seas. So why don't we start with North America, made of Mexico, United States, and Canada. Then we can move south past the equator to South America, where the heat is greater. And speaking of heat, the next continent is blazing is Africa, where the animals are amazing. Next is Europe, and then there's Asia. Together they're the largest landmass because they're neighbors. And we can go to Australia down under, where the Sydney Opera House is a known world wonder. And last is Antarctica, down at the bottom. The whole thing is frozen like Elsa and Anna.
North America, South America, Africa, Europe, and Asia, Australia, Antarctica, 7 continents.
Back to the starting gun.
North America, South America, Africa, Europe, and Asia, Australia, Antarctica,
it's time for us to Departica.
We'll be listening to that song more, friends, but that's it. There are 7 continents in the world: North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, and Antarctica. So, this is a map, just like explorers use, and we are going to be exploring Europe, okay? So, Europe is over here. It's made up of all these different countries. Now, if we were actually to go to Europe, or if we were to come from Europe, could we just walk over there? It looks small, right? Doesn't the area look small right here? Look small on your screen? No, we couldn't just walk it. Why not? Because if we did, we would end up in the water, right? We would end up in the ocean. So we can't just walk to Europe. We have to fly. Or we can take a boat and fly from United States, where we are now, to Europe. So it's very far from us, but we can get there if we fly. So there we go, friends. Ooh, we are off. We are off to Europe, okay? That's our first stop. Okay, so we're going from USA to Europe. This is our new book. It's called Europe, and it has our front cover with different things. As we read a new book every single time, remember, you are checking what you notice and also what you wonder, okay? Just shout it out at the screen. I know we're at home, so we can do that more now. So that's the front cover, Europe. This is the title page, right? It has Europe here too, and it's by Rebecca Hirsch. So now we're at the table of contents, and we'll explain that more later, what that means. Welcome to Europe. Europe is a continent. The largest pieces of land on Earth are continents. There are 7. Europe is the yellow continent on this map. So you can see right here, friends, that's where Europe is. We live here. Europe is a small continent, but it has many countries. Germany, Spain, and Italy are 3 countries in Europe. Can you find them on this map? So, of course, friends, the map is a little bit blurry. We're a little bit far from it, but they are here. So you might have heard of these countries before, and they are all in Europe. People of Europe. Each country has its own language, foods, and customs. In Germany, people speak German. They celebrate a festival called Oktoberfest. In the United Kingdom, people speak English. The United Kingdom has a royal family. In Italy, people speak Italian. There is a city in Italy where the streets are waterways. There are no cars. People walk on sidewalks or ride boats to go from place to place. Places to see. There are many things to see in Europe. People visit the beautiful parks and buildings in the cities. This is a statue, friends, of a colorful dragon in Spain. They visit Europe's museums to see art. There are famous paintings in the museum. They come to see castles that were built long ago. Land and water. Europe has forests. Trees grow in the forest, and many animals live there. Is G's waiting every time she reads a page so that you can really look at the picture, okay? I don't want to go so fast if you don't get to watch the picture. Europe has places that are hot and dry. The weather is good for growing olives and grapes. Europe has mountains. It has groups of mountains called ranges. The tallest mountain range in Europe is the Alps. Europe has many rivers. The rivers connect cities to the sea. Visitors travel on the rivers to see Europe's interesting places. Modern marvels. The Melou Viaduct stretches across a deep valley in France. It is the world's tallest bridge. And why did Miss G read it like that? There's this nice long word, exclamation point at the end. So they want you to say it with emphasis. It is the world's tallest bridge. The bridge has tall columns and cables. The columns and cables work together to hold up the bridge. Meet an alpine ibex. Alpine ibexes are wild goats. They live high in the mountains in Europe. These goats are excellent climbers. Then they also go over words you know: bear, castle, mountain, and museum. So that's basically the end, friends. At the end is just a bunch of numbers and just telling you at the end. So this is the end of our story. Now we went through it. Miss G stopped for a second so you can notice. And now let's go over some wonders. So let's go over our first wonder. Boom, 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 hoo. And now I hope my classroom, you guys remember these posters, right? From Miss Maynard's videos. So our first wonder is a who wonder. I want you at home thinking of a who question for our book, Europe. And now I'll ask my class here, can anyone answer that? Ooh, I got one. Who lives in the big castle? So, in the big castle, under the picture, it said the Igowski Castle in Denmark has water all around it. So the Igowski people are the ones who live there. Let's see who's up next. Why? So who can come up with a why question? I want at home you answering this, and then I'll ask my class here. Why doesn't the place in Italy have cars? So if you remember, friends, from what we just read, Italy was that place with a bunch of waterways, and we just saw a bunch of boats. That particular country in Italy has no space for cars. Everywhere is on water. So you have to use a boat to go from place to place. There's no subway, there's no buses. You have to use boats to get there. Is that all of Italy? No, that's one part of Italy, okay? So other places in Italy do have cars, but this place called Venice does not. So let's see where. That's our next wonder question. Who at home can answer that for me? Let me ask my class here. Where do bears live in Europe? That's a good question. Where do bears live in Europe? If we go back to our story, at the bottom of the picture, it says, a brown bear looks for food in a forest in Finland. So in Finland, another country in Europe, is where bears live. Bears probably live in other places too, but that's the one that they mentioned. Okay? I hope at home you had some wonderful who and what and where questions. But guess what, friends? We are not done. We are actually exploring not just one continent today, but two. Do you want to try to guess which next continent we are traveling to? Well, we are now in Europe. We, my friends, are going to Asia. Asia is right next to Europe. Could we walk to Asia from Europe? It looks really small, and there's no water blocking it. So yes, technically we could walk from Europe to Asia. But most people don't do that because it would take years and years. It would take a really long time. So people usually take a train or a plane to go to Asia. So now, friends, we are on our way traveling. Next stop is Asia. And this, my friends, is a passport. That's what you'll need to travel as when you get older. And you might have one now. So, our new book, Asia. Again, here's the title page. It's from the same person as last time, by Rebecca Hirsch. Again, our table of contents. And here we go. Welcome to Asia. Asia is the largest continent. It has more than 40 countries. The largest pieces of land on Earth are continents. There are 7. Asia is the yellow continent on this map. People of Asia. Most of the world's people live in Asia. Some live in busy cities. So that means, friends, that if the world, the entire Earth, has a certain amount of people, most of them live in Asia. That's how many people live in Asia. Many people work in modern factories. Most of the world's computers parts are made in Asia. Other people live in villages. They grow rice on farms. Most of the world's rice is from Asia. So, friends, think about that. Most of the world's people live in Asia. Most of the world's rice come from Asia. There's a lot of things that we depend on from Asia. Wild weather. Asia has monsoons. These are strong winds. In summer, monsoons bring heavy rains. Some parts of Asia have cold, snowy winters. Amazing animals. Asia has lots of rare animals. Giant pandas live in Asia. Their favorite food is bamboo. Bengal tigers live in Asia's forests. Tigers are good hunters and like to swim. Wild places. Asia has forests. Some have many trees. Other forests grow bamboo plants. And that's like the same thing our friend here was eating. Their favorite food is bamboo. And this, my friends, is a bamboo plant. Bamboo plants are almost as tall as trees. Look how tall they are. Asia has deserts. The Gobi Desert is dry. Wind blows the sand and makes dunes. Mount Everest is in Asia. It is the tallest mountain on Earth. It is one of the many things that make Asia such a unique continent. Does anyone know what that word unique means? Well, it means special. It means different from others, okay? Modern marvels. So we have again our modern marvels, something that was built by people. The Burj Khalifa in Asia is the world's tallest building. It has 160 floors. So just imagine our BCS school only has 3 floors. So imagine having 160 floors. That is really tall. The building took almost 6 years to build. It is made of steel, concrete, and glass. Some people live in the Burj Khalifa. Others work in the offices. So this building can be both. It can be a workplace and people can live there at the same time. Meet a Komodo dragon. Komodo dragons are the biggest lizards in the world. They use their tongues to smell. They can use their claws to climb trees. Komodo dragons live on islands in Asia. Words you know. So we learned about dunes, factory, mountain, and tiger. You may not know all these words, but again, remember when the words are bolded, that means there's something to pay attention to. And we'll explain a little bit more what those words mean later. But for now, I hope you noticed a lot of things and we're calling it out. But now I want you to think of wonders. So we're back to our wonders. And we're wondering all about Asia. So who can help me out? Our first one is how. How tall is Mount Everest? That's a good question. Guess what, friends? That was not in our story. So, Miss G's going to look it up. Ooh, Mount Everest is 29,029 feet. It is so tall. It is huge. 29,000. Just imagine how tall you are. You're probably around 3 feet, or maybe 4 feet, or 3 feet, 5 inches. You can always ask your mommy, how tall am I? But imagine being 29,000 feet tall. That's really tall. Next up, we have what? Who can help me out with a what question? What do tigers eat? Ooh, that's a good question. Tigers are something called carnivores, so they like to eat meat. A carnivore likes to eat meat, and if you remember, friends, when we went on that trip to the Natural History Museum where we saw the different dinosaurs, some of those dinosaurs were carnivores, like the T-Rex. That means they eat meat. Actually, tigers specifically like to eat buffalo, elephants, and deers. They basically like to eat big animals because they're big too. So, we have when. When. Who else is up next for when? When was the tallest building made? Ooh, okay, that's a good question. So that actually wasn't in the story. Miss G will have to look it up. But the tallest building is called the Burj Khalifa. Can you echo Miss G? Burj Khalifa. Good. Burj Khalifa is the tallest building, and it was built January 6, 2004. 16 years ago was built the biggest building in the world. Okay, friends? Well, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I want to wrap it up now, but as we go on in the future, we'll make sure to shout out our different friends and watch those amazing videos, okay? I know you're super excited. Tune in to next lesson so you can see them, okay? Have a great day.